Tight.
Probably just out for a ride, maybe trying to clear his head, maybe just pushing the throttle for the thrill of it. In a split second, everything went wrong. He lost control of the bike, and with no time to correct and no time to react, he slammed straight into an electricity pole. The crash wasn't just bad.
I want to get a motorcycle very soon, but it's so scary because you gotta like control your balance on this shit. Even though you're gonna have a helmet, one bad mistake and you die. If I get a motorcycle, yo, I'm not just driving it street legal, pushing that shit. I'm going between lanes, going between cars, dropping 100 over. What are we talking about? Get a Ducati? Low key, I might. I ain't gonna.
In the summer of 2021, on a remote highway in Turkey, a young man deeply in love with his motorcycle woke up to a nice sunny day and decided that it was the best time to take his bike out for a spin. A nice leather jacket with protective boots, gloves, and a helmet was what this man quickly threw on before going out for the ride. Just kidding, he decided that he didn't want to wear any of that since it's a hot summer day.
You're stupid. You're stupid. Okay, matter of fact, let's do this. We gonna go through these motorcycle incidents, and I'm gonna determine with y'all if I can survive these.
But on the bright side, at least he decided to keep his helmet on, right? After making sure that he was wearing
He didn't have his helmet?
at all,
That's why you
would
died.
then take his sport bike for a nice calm ride of 120 miles per hour. After hitting the highways, the rider couldn't contain himself and began speeding as fast as possible on his
One of
bike.
the stupidest people ever. If you're finna speed that fast, at least wear the helmet. What are we talking about? You don't gotta wear the gear. At least wear the helmet though. 120? You just must want to die. Like, come on, bro.
However, unbeknownst to him, a steep turn with a guardrail would appear on the highway out of nowhere. Unable to correct his path in time, he was flung from the bike and hurled face first into the corner of a steel guardrail.
Damn!
The impact-
Oh my god. Yo! Okay, you deserve that, buddy. You didn't do anything that you were supposed to do. Maybe the helmet would have saved your ass. I don't know. But in that situation, if it was me, this is how I would have survived. First off, I'm wearing all of my gear. Second off, 120 is a little bit crazy. I think you should only push 100. At 100, you can still see, you can still control your vehicle a little bit better. 120 is way too fast. So in this situation, if I did fly off, I wouldn't land on the guardrail. I would just land on the pavement. As I land on the pavement, I'm probably gonna break a couple bones because I'm not invincible, bro. But I do drink my milk, so I won't break that many. I'll probably just break like a leg, maybe an arm or two, some shit casual. And as I keep on rolling, I'm gonna eventually stop near the side of the road where I'll be there for like maybe a couple hours until somebody calls the police or calls the ambulance to come save me. I don't think I'll survive though. I ain't gonna lie. My gear will help me
that it completely
embrace
removed
the
the
fall
entire front of his head and face.
Oh
His
my
eyes,
gosh.
nose, jaw, and facial skin were instantly torn away, leaving only the back of his skull intact. Bystanders who arrived moments later could hardly process what they were seeing. It looked less like an accident and more like a war zone.
Oh my
They searched
god.
for his body, and upon a glimpse, were instantly traumatized since it didn't really look like a human anymore.
All your skin is gone? No, I'm gonna have some gear. I'm gonna have some motorcycle gear though. I'll be straight.
Bystanders did what they could, but unfortunately, he never had a chance. Emergency responders
Yeah, I wouldn't think he would.
Unresponsive at the scene.
The pole incident?
This next situation falls just past midnight on April 1st, 2025, in Phuket, Thailand. The streets were mostly empty, the air was heavy, and it was the kind of night that felt slower than it actually was. But not for one guy. This rider was flying down Bypass Road on a red and black Honda Forza.
Tight.
Probably just out for a ride, maybe trying to clear his head, maybe just pushing the throttle for the thrill of it. Whatever the reason, he was moving fast. Very fast.
Okay.
Then, in a split second, everything went wrong. He lost control of the bike, and with no time to correct and no time to react, he slammed straight into an electricity pole. The crash wasn't just bad, it was horrific. The impact was so violent that it cut his body in half.
Oh
His upper
my!
half was found under the pole. His lower half? Thrown almost 200 feet down the road. His heart and organs were scattered across the scene.
Imagine seeing that shit in real life, bro. What the hell? I can survive this too. Let me tell you how. Alright, so peep, here's what buddy went wrong. As soon as you lose control, everybody knows you're supposed to lead the motorcycle to the side, sacrifice one of your legs, because that shit's just gonna be cut regardless, and try to drift your way down the street. This way, you feel me, you might be amputated one leg, you know, this shit might be gone. But at least the rest of your body will survive. And once you get to a point where the tires or whatever start burning off and everything just kind of slows down, you'll slightly drift about a mile or two until you fully stop. Now again, your leg will be gone, but the rest of your body will be straight, and that's how you survive.
And somehow, his helmet was still on, but it didn't save him. Not from that. They later confirmed he was a Russian national. They never released his name and just let his story be another brutal reminder of how unforgiving speed can be.
What?
You always think it won't happen to you until it does. The haircut incident. In Manacapuru, Brazil, a small riverside town that doesn't usually make international headlines would go viral for once, but for all the wrong reasons. A man was riding his motorcycle through the city streets, and from the looks of it, he wasn't really going slow. While another biker was trying to make a left turn, the man unknowingly would get into a head-on collision with him.
Oh my!
So forceful that it would launch him right off of his bike, straight onto his head. And surprisingly, the accident wasn't too detrimental. He only suffered a couple of cuts and sprains to his body.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
That would be me in this situation. That would be me in this situation, all right? I'll survive that.
But once again, this rider decided to ride without one. So...
Why are we doing stupid shit like this? Why are we riding without helmets? Why are we just being daredevils, bro? Be safe. Never mind.
Instead, when he crashed and landed on his head, the force of the impact was so intense that it ripped the skin right off his scalp.
Oh my god,
it wasn't a cut or a gash. His scalp was completely peeled back, exposing raw bone. When I say raw bone, I literally mean that his skull, muscle, and the whole horrifying anatomy of a human head were exposed to the world.
Oh my god.
A lot of people were confused by the bizarre nature of the accident and couldn't really understand how it could happen to a person. But
anime-ass accident,
it
bro.
happens a lot. The injury is called degloving. Imagine the skin on your body being torn off like a glove. Probably not the best thing to imagine, but that's what doctors describe it as. And
yeah, GG's. I'm not surviving that. I'm gonna keep it a being.
That's what happened to this man.
I'm not surviving that.
Fire truck incident. On the 15 freeway in Rancho Cucamonga, California, a routine night drive turned into a deadly inferno, and it all started with a motorcyclist and a semi-truck. The exact reason isn't clear. No one knows if the biker swerved, miscalculated, or just didn't see the truck coming. But what we do know is that he collided with the big rig at freeway speed, which is anywhere from 65 to 85 miles per an hour. The impact was devastating.
Oh my, whoa. Yo, okay, yeah. I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm still surviving that shit. And let me tell you exactly how. Now look, okay. As we know, I drink my milk, my nigga. So, you feel me? My bones is good and strong, bro. You feel me? I did what the commercials told me to do. First off, right? When I got the motorcycle, just because of how I am as a person and my aura, I'm gonna automatically have a shield around me. So, whenever I hit some shit, at first, the shield gonna take damage. I got about like 100 attributes of shield damage. So, it's gonna, you feel me, hit that. So, as soon as I hit the truck, the shield damage will be hit. Now, look, we also got to be thinking about the aerodynamics part of this shit, all right? As soon as I hit the truck, you feel me, I'm probably gonna go flying. So, once my shield is gone, now I just got main health. So, as I go flying over the truck, probably will be going pretty fast. I probably will be going kind of crazy. But look, here's what he's not telling you. Over to the right of the truck, there's a nice bed of just bushes and grass and trees and shit. Because of my aerodynamics and how I hit the truck, right? I will probably fly into that comfy bed of bushes and shit. Probably get a couple scratches and bruises. Maybe, you feel me, get impaled a little bit by like a tree branch, you feel me, whatever. But I could potentially survive that shit. That's what I'll say.
Smashing into a semi-truck on a motorcycle isn't already bad enough. The biker would be trapped underneath the vehicle while its diesel leaked out of its fuel tank.
See, I would never be caught in that situation because of my aura field, bro. I'm just keeping it real.
And unfortunately for him, the sparks from the accident would light both his motorcycle and the 30,000-pound semi-truck up in a blaze. The truck driver was quick enough to escape, but once again, since the biker was trapped, he was engulfed in what would be known as one of the biggest fires the freeway had seen in years.
Oh my god.
This fire was so big that it took 3 fire engines to try to control the blaze.
Oh wow.
And the highway was shut down for hours.
Oh wow.
When they finally arrived at his body, they immediately called it the sign incident.
Wow.
In Thailand, sometime around 2019, on a highway just outside of Bangkok, where traffic moves fast,
Bangkok.
Helmet laws are, let's say, loosely followed. A guy, once again, not wearing a helmet, was riding his motorcycle at a high rate of speed, zooming in and out of traffic. While going down the road, his bike would randomly hit a pothole, and his attempt to avoid it would be where things went horribly wrong.
Okay, talk to me.
He heavily swerved and got launched off his bike so forcefully that it'd throw him airborne and he'd go flying for a few seconds.
Okay.
Which actually sounds kind of fun, because bouncing and flying around in a controlled area is usually a fun experience. Whether you've gone bungee jumping, skydiving, or have randomly experienced flying
Even parasailing, it's fun.
I'd say it's a pretty enjoyable thing. Just not when you go flying headfirst into a road sign, which is what happened to this guy. He was flung so hard at the road sign that it perfectly decapitated his head. And continuing on with its momentum. And disturbingly, his head actually hit the sign so hard that it became stuck to it. The scene was so brutal that it even traumatized seasoned first responders. And obviously, sadly, he passed away.
Yeah, I would assume. Okay, see, here's how... Yeah, I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm not surviving that shit. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how. Like, bro, maybe if I was Superman, I could fly away or some shit. My nigga, nah, that might cook me. I ain't gonna lie.
The paper incident.
I'm surviving. How are you surviving that, Golden? Please give me a detailed explanation.
2015, a motorcyclist in Shenzhen or Guangzhou, a busy Chinese city, was on his way to work when he stumbled.
Okay, why are all of these people in East Asian countries not wearing helmets, bro? Did y'all not read the motorcycle safety manual, bro? What?
Heavy traffic and a very large cement mixing truck on the road. As is common in densely populated urban cities, he began lane splitting in between traffic to get through the cars.
Type shit.
Funnily enough, this is actually a good thing for most bikers to do, as lane splitting lessens congested traffic and heavily reduces the risk of motorcycles getting rear-ended by cars that don't see them.
Yes.
So this rider gets a gold star for practicing smart riding. Ironically, however, when the light turned green, he accidentally dropped his bike and fell off of it right in front of that ginormous...
You stupid! Yo, how do you do that? Oh, wow! What? That's some Final Destination type of shit, bro. How do you do that? What? Yeah, GG's, man. That's the most clumsiest way to die, bro. But look, Pete, I'm surviving this shit easy. You know how? I'm not being clumsy. This would never happen to me. This could never happen. Yo, I'm not saying it could never happen. Knock on wood. But, bro, I'm teeing the fucking... And even if I do feel myself leading, I'm sacrificing my leg to push me back up. So what if I tear an ACL? I don't care. I'm not finna tear my head off.
A cement mixing truck I mentioned earlier. Panic exploded out from bystanders, and they would all try to get the trucker to stop driving. But by the time he had even noticed he rode over anything, it was already too late.
He probably just thought it was a speed bump. Oh, God. Oh.
All 12 wheels of the 30,000-pound truck trampled over his body.
Yo.
The rider wasn't just crushed. He was effectively flattened into the road's pavement. Witnesses and first responders described his body as being no thicker than a sheet of paper on the road. City sanitation workers and police disturbingly had to resort to using shovels to scrape his body off the road and put it into a dustpan. His body was so pulverized that he couldn't even be put into a casket for burial. I don't really know why you like traumatizing yourself with stories like these, but that's all for now. Have a happy day.
Yeah, fuck you. Oh, wow. All right. Oh, okay. Which one? Yo, so chat, which story traumatized y'all the most? And which one's the easiest to survive? I think the last one's the easiest to survive. Just don't be clumsy. Yeah. Let me know. Sky Crew, stay fly. You feel me? Follow the Twitch if you were new here and you want to be a part of my crew. Sky Crew. Besides that, we out. Leia, stay fly. Sky Crew, stay fly. We out.